Okay. Hmm. Is my chat box even working? I feel like it should have showed something on my chat box. That was annoying. It's raining right now. Apparently that messed with my connection. I'll give it a second. I'm going to give everything a second to breathe. Yo, what's up?
Hello.
Wait, hold on 1 second. There you go. I'm streaming right now, but I had to reconnect. I just started again because it's raining outside. It's being weird.
Well, my grandma got the trach.
She got the trach. What's that?
You know when they slice a little hole in your neck and then they shove a tube down there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She got now.
What are they doing that for exactly?
She can't breathe on her own.
Well, I remember that, but was there like a specific thing that helps out the breathing with that?
She realized if they took out the tube and and like not put anything in there, she was gonna die, so she decided to get the trach. We got Granny for a few more years.
Gotcha. Well, I'm covering Hutch and Ethan Klein from H3 complaining about Hassan Piker.
Hassan Daddy.
Yep.
Hassan is crazy. He's just crazy.
It's a crazy guy. Crazy wacko.
Yep.
Did you
I
know
mean,
that he said America deserved 9/11? What do you think about that?
you know what? Yes, America did. If I was George W. Bush, you know what I would have did?
What would you have
You
done?
know what I would have said?
What would you have said?
Saddam Hussein, whatever. Kill my dad. I don't give a fuck. He on his way out anyway.
Damn. So you think the civilians who died on 9/11, you think they deserved it? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You're a crazy person. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You're saying all those poor firefighters that were trying to help out people in
No,
the
I wasn't
rubble.
saying that. I said, you know what? No. What did I say? I said if I was George W. Bush, I would have been like, yeah, kill my dad. I don't care.
But you said America deserved 9/11, so therefore the
Oh no no
citizens
no
are
no no no
included,
no no
right?
no. Here's the thing.
America.
I think George W. Bush deserved 9/11.
Okay. But that's not what Hassan said. He said America deserved it, not George Bush. America deserved
He also got banned for calling himself a fucking cracker.
it. Now, the definition of deserved means rightfully earned because of something done or quality shown. You think America deserved 9/11 because of it was rightfully earned because of something they had done? I wonder what they had did to deserve 9/11. What did
Is
they
that
do?
Charlie Kirk?
Wait, what?
As Devil May Cry?
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. It's very epic. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the theme?
I don't know the song. I don't know. Is
We
that
are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. Like it's something like that. I don't know if it's gonna be like that with this. I played an Indian version first today. It's awesome. It's already awesome. Do you think Charlie Kirk deserved 9/10?
You know what? Yes. You know why? Do you know what what, like, what I was doing while he was getting shot in the fucking neck?
What were you doing?
Taking a fat ass nap. My brother come walking in, woke me up. He said, Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck. And I was like, what? You're trolling. He goes, no, he actually got shot in the neck. And then I looked, and then I opened up TikTok. Dean Withers is bawling his fucking eyes out. I said, oh.
Did you laugh when you saw him get shot? Be
I said
honest.
Dean Withers.
Wait, no. That's not what I asked. Be honest. Be honest. Did you laugh when you saw that he got shot? Like, did you, when you saw him get shot, like, and the blood came out, did you laugh?
So the first
Did
one
you
I
smile
saw,
and laugh?
it was a meme. I smiled a little.
You didn't laugh?
I didn't laugh.
No, you're
but
not
the
a real
first
one. You had to laugh. You had to laugh.
No,
You had to laugh.
no,
You're not
the
a real
first
one.
one
You're
I
not a
saw.
real.
No, the first one I saw.
Oh my god.
So I had to go on. So I went on TikTok. Believe it or not, people were showing it on TikTok. So I went on TikTok, and it was them saying boom, 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 and it was like a repeat of him getting shot in the neck.
That's
Okay, I
awesome.
laughed at that one, and then I just saw the raw footage.
Yeah.
From like 16 different angles. I smiled each time.
Well,
I didn't laugh.
I'm gonna go eat real quick. It's not gonna be that long, but I'm gonna play this while I'm gone. Probably 5-6 minutes max. All right, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cover more of this video. And you can stay if you want, obviously.
Eat, queen, eat.
He stood unshaken, a voice in the storm, a man of conviction, a heart reborn. He spoke the truth when the cost was high. He lived for Jesus, unafraid to die. We are Charlie King. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. His name. We are Charlie King. Courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known. Husband, a father, his family held near, a home built on scripture, on faith without fear. The world tried to silence, but his voice remains. In us it echoes, in Christ it sustains. We are Charlie King. Together The battle is raging, the darkness will fall. We rise with the spirit, we answer the call. The truth is eternal, the cross is our guide. With God as our captain, we march side by side. We are Charlie Cat. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor His name. We are Charlie Cat. His courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known.
It made me.
All right. 1 second. Hold on.
What did you eat?
I can't hear you right now if you're talking. I have like one headphone in
Oh,
slightly. Okay, now I
what
can
kind
hear
of, what kind of, what did you eat?
you. I had a meatball sandwich.
And you ate it that fast?
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to be rude to anyone who does end up watching. You know what I mean?
Ew. Yeah. Do y'all have Wawas down there? We just got a Wawas.
I don't think so. I don't think we do.
The guy I
Jason's
was
Deli.
talking to, huh? Jason's Deli?
Yeah, we have a Jason's Deli and Firehouse Subs, Quizmos.
We don't have a Quiznos. Our Quiznos shut down.
I think we got to go out of our way a little bit to go get Quiznos, but we do have a Quiznos. We have Whataburger.
I had so, huh?
We have Whataburger, In-N-Out, Subway. Most people have Subway, to be honest.
I had someone buy Jersey Mike's and try it.
Jersey Mike's is kind of mid. I don't really like it.
I like their salads.
It's a little too dry for me.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like the taste is a little bit too dry, like preference wise. I'm like, eh. Like, I
Okay,
feel like I just eat something at home, if I wanted something drier.
my favorite is like I feel like what gives it like the moisture is the pepper relish.
The pepper relish.
Yes, people sleep on the pepper relish. But you get the pepper relish on the side because I feel like you don't get enough in each bite when you get it on the sandwich.
I do not remember why. I worked there too. There was some other place. Holy shit. I feel like an idiot right now. Because I worked there for
You've
like.
worked at a Jersey Mike's?
No, 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 not Jersey Mike's. It was some other place. I can't remember what it's called. Holy shit. How do you work at a place and then you forget what it's called? Holy fuck. My brain is a miss. And it had like really
Oh,
good sandwiches too. It was not Quiznos. It was definitely not Quiznos. It was like, holy fuck, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. What the fuck? How do you waste almost like 6 months of your life at a place and you forget what it's called?
is it sandwich place?
It's a sandwich place.
There's not very many. There's not very many I could. Is it Schlotsky's?
Yes, yes. Oh my god, thank
I
you.
love Schlotsky's.
It's so good. Chalosky's is really good.
I'm like, what is the one that we did not name? I love
Their
Schlotsky's.
tomato
And
soup is good too.
see, I've never. What did I get my brother?
I don't know.
He
What did you
likes the
get?
mac and cheese from there.
Yeah.
I get him an original or I get him a ham and cheese. I
Okay.
usually get what do I usually get? I usually get like the chicken one or the turkey bacon.
I need to start promoting my stream some places because we have like no one watching right now. But I don't know where I do that. Where should I do that?
Have you heard of Chewy's?
I've never heard of that. No.
It's originated in Texas.
Chewies.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had that ever. I haven't even
Well,
heard of it till now.
we're getting one. I'm working there.
Are you? What do you
Not
mean you're
yet.
working there? Are you like already signed on to work there when it is built or something? Or
Yeah,
okay.
because where I'm working is shutting down. Like there it's like cease is dead.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
they like I by the 6th I will no longer be a you know what? Fuck it. Bahama Breeze employee.
Bahama Breeze. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it.
I cannot. I don't know where to promote my streams at. That we get. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm a blank right now because I really want to promote my streams more, but I do not know where the fuck I would do that where I'm not gonna get um the typical like I'll probably promote it in political streams. I'll have to join a bunch of random ones, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to do it in Destiny spaces. They're libs. I don't want libs. Libs are fucking gross.
I'm a lib.
No, you're closer to a leftist, to be honest. You're like a glorified lib, basically.
Oh, I'm just like even Hassan's not a lib
Yeah, no. Make a sock
anymore.
account. No, that sounds fucking lame. Just promote. I'm just gonna promote my shit as the account that I am. But I don't know exactly what places I want to promote where I know like there will be an audience for it. I guess there's a couple of content creators that are out there or whatever that can join their Discord servers and just put it. I'm sure there's like little places where they have a where you can like advertise, or I think it was like content suggestions or something, like where you're allowed to post those. I think some of those servers do that. Yeah. Just
I
post,
can't.
post. Yeah. Anywho,
You know what?
go ahead.
I hate Mr. Girl server.
All right, don't be in it. I'm not in it.
I can't put emojis in chat.
I mean, it's always been like that.
I know, but it like pisses me off every single time I try to like talk in it.
Anyway, let's go back to because we had a huge delay. Okay, the connection broke off. It was raining for once over here, and I think it stopped. So it just basically came and went and delayed my stream. But whatever, we're back on the Hutch H3 call. Where were we? 5 minutes in? Yeah. All right. Let's play more.
Not that exclusive or unique to Jewish people to have like a similar situation, right?
Yeah, and it's nothing more than that. But then to turn to your audience and say, well, if you're one of these people.
Oh, by the way, I am taking call-in, so if you want to challenge Sailor Magic on why she hates Mr. Girl, go ahead. I'm sure Magic will be comfortable with that. Magic, be comfortable with being challenged on hating Mr. Girl or his server. She's muted right now. I don't even know if she's listening.
It just has like a completely normal association with a country that you might know, people that live there or what have you. Then you're a baby killer. You're a Nazi. He really doesn't even mince words these days, right? You're a fucking evil Nazi. And one of his favorite quotes that I like is that
the dog walking one with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That if you've ever had
one of the
any
most base quotes ever. Holy shit. It's so good. Oh wait, I didn't even mean to do that. I need to stop doing that. It's one of the most base quotes. It pissed people off so much. Oh my god. Let me take care of him some shit and I'll hop on. I love Mr. Girl and she is wrong. She is wrong. Magic's gonna get challenged on Mr. Girl.
point had a fondness for Israel, you should not even qualify to be the local dog walker, right? And that's the quote that Sam Cedar famously defended.
Yeah, don't get me started on his sane washing. That was a crazy thing to say. But tell me what you think, because like I think that for Hassan, I think like number one, I think his ego is very, very big, obviously, and I think he's not.
What's funny too is like he's like a Twitch streamer, and like they project this idea that like okay, to be honest, there is an ego there. I think that's there for like most streamers, to be fair. As with most people that are doing content creators, you got a little bit of narcissism, a little bit of ego for sure. Or like projecting like this bigger idea of like that he's like an ego maniacal person or whatever, and that is all calculated or whatever, and he's like trying to intentionally soak up all the attention. But it's like it's not really his fault that like a Democratic like politician retards like AIPAC wants Israel wants to focus in on him, Fox News wants to focus in on him because of like the ideas he represents. It's not really his fault that like a Twitch streamer ultimately is an attack vector that they decided to choose. It's kind of silly. It's kind of silly that they're presenting this idea where it's like it's a no-win scenario. Either Hassan doesn't actually try his hardest to get people on board and do door knocking or helping promote candidates or anything. He doesn't actually meaningfully care, and he won't actually put his own time and effort into like helping out and boosting candidates into positions of power. Either that he doesn't actually care, or he cares and he makes them look bad or whatever. Like, you have to pick one. You can't have both. You can't on one hand be like, well, he doesn't care about anything and therefore he is a fraud, and then also complain when he actually invests his time and does something with his audience, and then be like, well, he's a bad look for the Democratic Party. It's like, okay, no, it's actually more of a, like, he's a bad look for establishment Dems who want to like suck off Israel. That's about it.
Not thinking about American politics in terms of like specific policies, like Medicare for all. In his mind, I think he sees himself as...
He does talk about those things. What is this fucking loser talking about?
A thought leader, and as someone who's going to lead the world into...
Like, he thinks Hassan has this grandiose vision of himself. Generally speaking, like, he thinks Hassan has like this calculated world domination plan. Like, he's a world leader. He thinks of himself as a world leader. I mean, like, thought leader is generally broad too. Like, thought leader, I think thought leader is like generally applied to people who make an impact, even if it's not their intention to make an impact. So that's broad in terms of like thought leader. Like, are you like a big enough name or whatever, and like you're like a public figure for a specific ideology? It's like Martin Luther King was a thought leader. Malcolm X was a thought leader, for example, but
I don't think Hassan's like that.
It was a little bit more intentional on their end. I guess what I'm saying is Hassan might incidentally end up being a thought leader, but I don't think Hassan Piker has this like perspective of himself as a thought leader necessarily. It's more like, I'm sharing my perspective and I'm trying to get people, it's like any other pundit, it's like saying Ben Shapiro is a thought leader. It's like, well, I guess to some degree for his ideology, but like, I don't know if this is meaningful in the sense of like what you think it means. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think Hassan says every day in his stream that he's doing journalism. Journalism. Like, what?
Well, he's doing the commentary, the punditry, like where it's like,
yeah,
this is my political ideology. This is what I believe in. This is why I talk. It's like, it would be like if you called me a thought leader, and but you would only call me a thought leader if like the numbers on the board were there. If there was like tons and tons of people watching me on the size of like Hassan, but like,
yeah,
I'm like an entertainer first. I'm like a commentator. Like, I'm a political commentator, pundit kind of guy. Like, I'm giving my perspective on things. Like,
oh, wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's like saying Anderson Cooper is a thought leader.
Sorta. That's a little bit closer to, yeah, I understand where you're going with. It's a little bit closer to actual journalism, because I don't think Anderson Cooper is, he gives his perspective, but I don't know if it's as much as Hassan. But I know what you're saying. Hassan is propaganda in his own word, by his own words. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
To like his version of anti-colonialism and like ending capitalism, and I think he sees Israel as like the ultimate example of settler colonialism.
Like, at the current moment, is it the ultimate example? What's the most popular example? I would be lying to you if there's other places that I'm aware of that are like a more definitive example at the moment. You know what I mean?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Think of anything. Moment. I might just be ignorant on like exactly every like I don't play pretend, like I don't front this idea that like this one country over here is actually a better example of exactly what's going on with Israel in another state. Like they're doing this but 10 times worse. But it's like, I have no knowledge of that. But in terms of popularity, in terms of America's impact, like especially impact globally overall. I mean, Israel's like a prime example that affects everyone, really. So
What, like Argentina, Chile, Brazil, settler colonialism with the Nazis?
yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah.
Anyways.
So it's like, I mean, of course, if Israel affects your American government system so much to the degree that it gets your entire country into a war with Iran, if it's like pushing for this, and only Trump takes the bait because Trump is a, corrupted,
Idiot.
blackmailed, pedophile, rapist, and he's stupid enough to take the bait and actually plunge us into a war that is only going to hurt us in the long run in our economy and our standing with the rest of the world. I mean, yeah, it kind of does matter. It's kind of a good example, yeah.
Don't worry, England will follow suit and then blame America.
Yeah.
Like they did after 9/11.
Yeah, like they these neoliberals like to project this idea of like oh, you guys are just anti-Semitic. You guys are really like, it's kind of sus. You're kind of just like really anti-Semitic. Like you're kind of focusing on Israel, and I think it's because, sweetie, it seems like you hate Jews. It's like so fucking annoying by this point. It's like beyond, like, I know, you're either really deluded or you're really dishonest, or probably both. But man, oh man, like no one's buying it anymore, bro. No one's buying it anymore.
And I don't think he's considering the experience like what you describe, where you're not raised. I assume probably most American Jewish people are not raised with this belief that they're like literally a superior race or like an ethno identity or something.
That's irrelevant though. If you don't even have to believe in that to like be on board with the idea of like being on board with Israel's existence in and of itself. Yeah, like what was it when I was watching Queenman, like way before, I think way before he got really on board with the like, well, Israel's in the wrong perspective. I think he was talking something about like, he's like, well, like generally it's probably in my interest, to have Israel, in better standings because like I'm Jewish myself or whatever, and there's benefits for Jewish people that they could, have a place to go to. That's the general understanding. It's like a self-interest, they don't have to have this like general belief of like ethnic supremacy or anything, Jewish supremacy. It's just beneficial. Not all white people are probably going to think of themselves as or be on board with white supremacy, but like, they'll probably be okay with reaping the benefits,
Thing is, yeah.
That's just the Nazi propaganda, right? That's all it is. No, the Jewish people don't think listen, I'm not friends with a lot of religious Jewish people, but I knew a lot of them when I lived in Israel. Nobody's walking around thinking they're like superior. I think there's like the radical,
yeah, we'll just take Ethan's word on this. Okay. Guys,
no, you know why? You know why they don't think they're the superior? Because they live in squalor. A lot of people in Israel live in squalor. Even Ethan said that they live in squalor. Why would they think they're superior when they live in fucking squalor?
Well, Ethan is generally saying is like, well, Jewish people don't think they're like the superior race or whatever, but it's like by the, you may have met like a specific group of people, specific people that you became friends with that don't actually cling on to the more ethno-supremacist, Jewish supremacist ideals that the state harbors or whatever. But there are a lot of people that in Israel actually do hold those views. So like your like little small personal experience is like your anecdotal experience is kind of irrelevant to the grander scheme of like the statistics and the outcomes of Israel and its society as a project, and them being on board. The polling suggests otherwise. The stats say otherwise. Their behavior says otherwise. The way they talk about the issues says otherwise. Like, I'm sorry, like you're a little anecdotal of like, well, I've met a couple people in Israel that I became friends with. They don't actually think this. It's like that's not encompassing of the entire conversation of the entire region of the area. Like, it's not how it works.
Right. These types of people.
I never understood why people are fighting over the Middle East. Resources, land that they were in first, and land that belongs to them. And then the other people that came in from the Ottoman Empire, a lot of Jewish Israelis come in, and over time start taking that land.
Yeah.
That's in summation. And so
And fighting.
Yeah. And then so if you think about it this way, simplify it to this way, America was claimed how? It was colonized. It was colonized through what? It was killing the natives here, the Native Americans here. So, you're killing the native population, the people that were there first. You're taking their territory, you're taking their land. It's as simple as this. They are legally and morally allowed to fight back. Yes. It's a very, very simple, very straightforward.
Yeah. And the reason why what the U.S. is so involved in Israel is because we do not have any other country that we can lean on to provide these resources. So like oil.
It's technology as well.
Like
Israel develops certain like spy tech or whatever too, but like they don't really benefit us like all too much. We benefit them more than they benefit us.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. But
and same with Europe. Europeans say, "Oh, they don't need the United States. They don't need the United States."
I know the history,
but no, a lot of the even though they pay higher taxes, we do fund a lot of the shit that they have.
I know the history all the way back to 4000 BC, but the land itself is so shitty. Well, it's still their land, and I don't know what to tell you. There's tons of shitty land in America as well. Tons of shitty land in a lot of different places. It's people's homes. People grew up with it. They're attached to it. They're accustomed to the environment. They're accustomed to the way things operate there. And then, when some fucking ghouls come in and take your fucking land, kill your fucking women, rape your children, rape your men, you do apartheid onto you, like treat you as subhuman. Yeah, like it's kind of insane. No, like it's not as simplified as like, why would you want this land? It's like, well, it's not just about the land necessarily. Although, yes, by all rights, it's their fucking land. It's their home. So, yeah.
People do believe that stuff. And I'm pretty sure that me and even most Israelis are united in thinking these people are fucking horrific, disgusting, racist people. But like the vast majority of Jewish people definitely doesn't have this superiority complex. It's not like we're some group that's looking to like screw over other Jews. I mean, this or that we're colluding together to the whole greater Israel conspiracy craziness, which is something that I've heard.
It's so funny
even
too,
Hassan.
because it's like the thought process here is basically like, well, like not all white people are bad, man. Not all white people are bad, but it's like, okay, you're failing to understand, like, generally speaking, of the populace there and the populace in America. There are a lot of bad white men. There are a lot of bad, like, people in general growing up off of the propaganda of where they were raised from, what kind of like messages were sent to them, like
Yeah.
instilling a lot of bad, moral character, like thinking that the American exceptionalism is how, they should go about the world. American supremacy is how they go about the world. And it's like similar to Israel. Like, I don't understand how this is like so complicated to understand. It's really not that difficult to understand. Like, you don't even, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
I was just saying, like, you don't even have to, like, I don't even think you have to be, like, fully conscious of every way of going about things. Like, you could have good intent too, but, like, in situations like this, your head could be clouded with tons of, like, things that you were taught that maybe you should take, like, a second glance. Maybe you think you're progressive, but have you really thought through, like how consistent you're being on? Like, maybe you're, like, making exceptions when you shouldn't be. Maybe, like, some of the propaganda instilled in you and this idea that big bad Arabs, scary Palestinians, if we give them, if we try to make amends and, give them back some of their land and try to do, like, a one-state solution where everyone's, like, in collaboration, well, then they'll just be barbaric and kill us over time. If you give them rights, they'll kill us. It's like, this is, like, disgusting. Like, you know how disgusting you sound, right? It's like saying, like, well, oh, we shouldn't free the slaves ever. As well as black people, they get a little bit more voting right, a little bit more power, and then they, get retribution onto the white people. Like, people actually thought that back then. It's fucking gross. Like, come on, man. It's gross.
Yeah.
I'm saying now, which is just like a straight up David Duke, like Protocols of Zion level of conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing. And I mean, the thing is, Zionism is I feel like the whole Zionism thing is moot at this point because the state of Israel has already existed for like 100 years almost. And there's like 9 million people living there. It's a fully.
How long has it existed? Not 100 years.
Not 100 years, like 80.
Yeah, how long has Israel? Something like that. Israel existed.
It's 80 because it's right after. I think it's 1946. 1948. So 78 years.
Establishment Declaration of Independence, May 14th, 1948. Okay. So, not 100 years, but okay.
It was after World War II. That's why I was like,
he's basically saying, he's like, well, they already won, so, therefore, sorry, my bad. Therefore, like, I mean, like, why are they still fighting? Why are they still fighting? Like, bro, you're treating them like subhuman. Why the fuck do you think they're still fighting, you retard? Why is this relevant to the conversation? Because, like, you're stealing their fucking homes still. What are you talking about, bro?
Developed country. This whole conversation about how the only solution is one state with equal rights. It's like, well, I think the only solution for the world is world peace and that everybody, gets $1 million. The truth is that...
therefore, I can never see this happening, so therefore we should just let the genocide continue. Just slaughter and keep colonizing. Because I find this unrealistic, because, like, I can't think of a potential solution. I can't possibly imagine a scenario where America actually, does its fucking, what they claim to be doing and establishing more peaceful resolutions to conflicts, and actually hold Israel accountable and say, hey, we're going to strip your fucking funding. We're going to strip you of your fucking weapons and whatever else we fund you with if you don't get your fucking act together and do a one state solution where you don't treat Palestinians as some human and you give some land restoring, like you restore some of their lands, right of return. Like, yes, you can actually pragmatically do this. Yes. And then obviously, like, let's be real. Let us be honest. There will, to be realistic, both sides, there will be like some, conflict in terms of, well, I still want to get revenge for this incident that you did, to my people anyway. So there'll be like extremist groups, obviously, on both ends that like will not get together. But that's the better kind of thing than what's happening right now. which is basically in support of ethnically cleansing and genociding an entire group of people, which is absurd. It's like, I can't possibly imagine a better world, or like even attempt to like imagine a better world because of those dirty Browns. I can never imagine the dirty Browns would ever want to cooperate with Israel. You always have to paint Israel as like, well, they're just doing this in self-defense. They're like, ooh woo little like victims, you know, they just feel like really bullied and gained up on. And it's like, dude, like that doesn't work here, man. People hate you because like of your actions, because of what you do. They're invading fucking Lebanon right now. What the fuck has Ethan said about Lebanon? You know, fuck out of here, bro.
It's never going to happen. And it's not because I don't think it's great, or I don't think that would be like a nicer vision of the world. It's just the same thing. It's just not going to happen. It's just a country. It's been there 100 years.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him when he says
it's full of people. It has, you know what I mean? It's not something that you just flip a switch. And one thing I told his son.
No one has ever said that too. That's the annoying thing. There's never been this idea where it's like everything will just work out like,
what the fuck happened?
Perfectly. Wait, what?
Oh, my Discord went a little fucky wucky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no one's ever said like, oh, like everything will just go smoothly. Like, obviously that's like unrealistic. No one has ever said that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, again, it's a better scenario. It leads towards growth by comparison. Like there is no perfect necessarily. Like there's a lot of things to take into consideration, especially. But it's like, holy shit, man. So because we can't get perfect, like we're just flat out going to, well, I don't know, you know, just allow this to happen. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's highly immoral.
When we were kind of disagreeing on leftovers, was that like the only way I see that happening is through some like horrific war. Like that's the only way I see something like that happening. And
Israel would have to be forced through violence or extreme coercion that would require like very broad international consensus in a way that's,
oh, God forbid Israel go through some violence. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Is like this, Israel has to face violence. So therefore, like Palestine should just be wiped off clean. They should face the violence. That's what they're saying. They won't say this directly, but this is what they're saying. They said, well, we prioritize a team here. Israel shouldn't have to face any violence. They should face no violence. If it means a gathering. Also, I'm not even sure how much violence would realistically happen. I think like obviously there would be terrorist attacks, but like if you were to set up a scenario where America set heavy restrictions, actually did their job, and reined in both parties, especially Israel, the more aggressive party, the stronger party. And they're like finger wagging. They're like, listen, Israel, like you can't do all this crazy ass shit to like the Palestinians. Otherwise, we're going to rein your funding. And if we have to, we'll fucking invade you. How about that? We'll fucking, here's the other annoying thing. We could do regime change after regime change after regime change for other places all the fucking time. America does it all the fucking time. We can't threaten that against Israel. I don't buy it. You're telling me one call can't do a whole lot of legwork? I ain't buying it.
It's just difficult to imagine. You know, what I was getting at when I was setting up like how Hassan sees himself. And like one of the reasons why I think his movement that he's trying to build is just so useless is I think they see themselves as like fighting a war against capitalism that ended in the 90s and a war against the establishment of the state of Israel that ended decades ago. And like to your point, like the matter is settled. Israel,
Yes.
Israel does exist, even if you have problems with like the way that it was initially.
The matter is settled. So therefore, any actions that Israel takes, well, we're their allies. They can just do whatever they want. By this metric, it's like, well, the matter is settled. You know, America was settled, guys. You know, it was settled, guys. We wiped the Native American population, like, not completely clean, obviously, but you know, there's no change that can be made. We can't make any change. We can't like work for, you know, African American rights to be changed. We can't abolish slavery. We can't abolish anything bad that's ever been done by, you know, any of these countries. You know, the matter is settled. You know, if China wants to invade Taiwan, you know, the matter is settled. That's their business, bro. China can do whatever they want. Like, no one buys this argument. No one buys this argument for anything else. That's not how this works. The only conspiracy I believe is Israel owns America via blackmail. I wouldn't put it as succinctly as America is owned by Israel. I think there are very specific individuals, very specific politicians that, you know, Israel has blackmail over. But I think it's mostly most of the incentive is for two things. One is financial incentive, greedy, corrupt, you know, subhuman pieces of shit who want power. The other thing is basically, so yeah, there's the financial incentive, and then the other incentive is also that they do genuinely believe that like Arabs are subhuman. Like, they buy that propaganda. I think it's a combination of things. It's either one or the other, or a combination. Because Islamophobia is just like, whatever. Like, no one calls that shit out. Like, a Democrat can go up and be like, I don't want Abdul. I will never vote for Abdul, because I remember I grew up watching people fall out of the Twin Towers. Bro, what's that got to do with Abdul? Well, he's Muslim. Dude, really, it's because he's brown. Dude, he's Arab. Bro, it's so gross. It's so gross. So, yeah.
Formed to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
But that's literally every country is a product of some kind of colonialism, like literally every country. And if your problem is ethno states, it's like, well, I got some bad news about the vast majority of countries in the Middle East.
Wow. Okay. Shocking. No one has said that most land isn't like formed through some sort of colonialism or some sort of unethical means or anything like that. We're talking about as it happens, when it's happening, when atrocious acts are happening, and you could do something to stop it or do something to stop facilitating like the funds to continue on that endeavor. You should stop that. You should put your foot down, because endless lives are being like, you know, tossed away. Like, innocent lives are being tossed away when they don't need to be. People are being oppressed when they don't need to be. You shouldn't strive to allow horrible, immoral shit to happen just because, you know, these lands also, actually, all of these lands, don't you know that most of these lands are like ethno states or like were formed through colonialism? No, bro. It wasn't cool then. It wasn't awesome then. It wasn't moral then. And it's not moral now. Fucking idiot. You bald-headed fucking freak. You bald-headed fucking retard freak. We are funding it. We are facilitating it. It is immoral to do so. This is the reason there is a vested interest in stopping it. Because if you can stop it, if you can stop facilitating it, if you could put your thumb on the scale, you would do so. You fucking gross, fucking bald weirdo.
Because I looked into it like a month ago, and I was surprised to find that basically like the vast majority of Middle Eastern countries have it in their constitution that they're
wow, shocker, holy fuck. Dismantled dismantled our entire argument. Don't you know, sweetie, there's other ethno states? Bro. Sweetie, aren't you aware America was formed off of colonialism? So why do you live in America? Oh my God. I think society should improve somewhat. I think immoral actions shouldn't happen somewhat. Well, sweetie, don't you understand? Wait, this argument can also be made in this way. CPCA, hear me on this argument. I don't know if you've been watching, but if I presented to you this argument, hear me out on this. Did you know some lives were made through rape? Like some people were born through the process of rape.
Yeah.
Do you think rape is good then? Because some lives were made and some people got to experience life and the beauties of life.
I got ganged up on.
I mean, ambivalently so, I guess. In that regard, it's made people have, help society. I think actually it's a moral good.
The point of what I'm saying is, I'm not sure if CPCA is memeing here. I think he's slightly memeing here. The point is, rape in and of itself is obviously breaking of consent, a disgusting, reprehensible act. But if a woman gets pregnant through rape and decides to keep a baby and then has a son or a daughter that they love and cherish, and that person has a fruitful life, it still doesn't negate the fact that the action in and of itself that produced the person is not wrong and immoral in the first place. You fucking idiots. You fucking...
Bro, this guy just killed 3 people by...
You fucking numbskulls. CPCA, what did you come in here for? Did you have something to say? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. I was just... or maybe later. I don't know if you covered the Ratcliffe CIA meeting in Moscow.
Send it to content suggestions, and I will do so.
Yeah.
I will happily cover it.
Yeah, I think there were 2 articles, maybe one for the Atlantic. I'll give you an archive.
Yeah, send it my
free
way.
Paywall.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro. I didn't kick him out, by the way. He just randomly left.
Either an Arab state or a Muslim state or both. Like it's like the first article of their constitution of like Egypt and Jordan and
fascinating.
All these countries is like they establish an ethno identity for the country.
Wow.
And so I just don't buy that.
Hassan, sweetie, I don't think you actually care about ethno states because don't you know that there's Arab ethno states? Fucking genius. Fucking sped.
Opposition to Israel or the insistence on a one-state solution that's never going to happen unless you can tell me how you're going to force a nuclear power to do this. But like, how do I? It just doesn't seem like genuine.
Through the means of economic means. First of all, we have all the power in terms of leverage of there, and then we have the leverage of funding all the weapons and all that in the first place. The point is, though, is that America is incentivized, bought, paid for, wants to continue supporting. That is the immoral thing. That is the disgusting thing that we're doing. And a lot of American people are not on board for this. You fucking freak. You fucking freak. Most people look at like the actions that are taken, the actions that we support as a country as disgusting. Nobody wants to be, a part of that. If they don't want their fucking money contributing to such disgusting atrocities. If they can have a say. God damn. Holy shit. I fucking hate these people so much. I hate these people so deeply. You don't even know, bro.
Opposition to the concept of like an ethnos.
The stream was promised to me 3,000 years ago. Awesome. True.
It's not. Yeah. It's just like weird virtue signaling, like feel good bullshit. And this is the whole reason that me and Hassan started beefing is because I was like, dude, this whole idea that there's going to be a one state is like so silly. Like, why are we even having this conversation? Like,
why are we even having the conversation of solutions? Shouldn't you just let Israel just do what they want? Don't you know that like they're being defensive? Don't you know they're just defending the little old them? Yeah. Why don't you let them starve out the fucking population of Gaza? Why don't you let them starve? Why don't you let them just get raped and killed? You fucking freak. Fuck this, like, scumbag. Holy shit, man. Holy fuck, man. I'm actually getting like actually mad. Holy fuck.
It's just not gonna happen. Like
It's just not going to happen. It's just impossible, guys. So you shouldn't advocate for better things. You know, I think society should improve some. Yet you participate in society. Why even say anything? Isn't it pointless? Is ContraPoints? Isn't it pointless? Isn't it pointless? Nothing can be done. Nothing can ever be achieved. What's the point of even vocalizing your frustrations? You know, a black person who grew up as a slave. You know, nothing can be done. Nothing can ever change. You should have never advocated for your rights. You should have never advocated for your rights because don't you know it's like hopeless? Don't you know? Oh, God, I hate you. God, I hate you. Holy fuck. We do give Israel a lot of money for sure, but I think the big thing we do is we sell them arms at steep discounts. Tried to research all this shit. On paper, we only pay for 8% of their defense. 8% too much, to be honest.
It's like not, and it's not because I don't think it's a good idea. Like I think it would be great if we could go back in time and make like
Why don't you fucking advocate for it then? Why don't you actually advocate for it then, like meaningfully? Why don't you do that? Why don't you say something? Why don't you put all that money that you have into something useful? Why don't you stop prioritizing like suing people who have a vested interest in changing things? Playing victim. As if your fucking behavior hasn't been like totally reprehensible. As if your focus on these targets hasn't been like for a very particular reason. Like you're like a wolf in sheep's clothing. We see through you. And you're mad that we see through you. You're fucking filth. You're disgusting filth. Why don't you put even 1% of the time and effort that you put in into Hassan and all of his like friends and whatever his like little content creator buddies and all that, or the Starkers or whatever. Why don't you put 1% into actually like, talking about the issue and advocating for something that could actually be of merit? If you actually give a shit. If you actually like, but you don't care. You don't care. Let's look at this very quickly. We'll look into this more in depth a little bit later, but let's get an idea of what CPCA is talking about here. Michael Tracy posts, CIA Director John Ratcliffe reportedly made a mysterious trip to Moscow today for unclear reasons. As a reminder, here's his position on the Ukraine war. Let's see.
And then even yesterday, what President Zelensky said was what many of us had been saying on shows like this, Maria, for the past month or so, which is that the time to provide Ukrainians support in terms of sanctions against Russia and weaponry to Ukraine is now, not after Russia invades. So, I think President Zelensky, would probably tell you with friends like Joe Biden, who needs enemies? And then even yesterday.
So you made a mysterious trip to Moscow. Criticize Biden for not arming Ukraine quickly enough. Is there like speculation that he's probably doing like treason or some shit? Urged Russia to hold back from striking ballistic nations, reduce its support to Iran during his brief trip. It really wouldn't surprise me. Most of these people do like what's in their own interest. Treason is like as common as apple pie in Donald Trump's dietary needs, or more so Diet Coke or something like that would be more fitting. They love corruption and treason. It's like their midnight snacks. Okay, we'll look into that a little bit more after this. Okay.
like a pluralistic one state for all types of situation, but it's just not happening. I don't. It's gone. That ship has sailed.
It's probably not happening because you don't actually put effort. Like a lot of people don't put effort into like making it happen because like people stand in the way of that. Perhaps, because you don't want it to happen. You contribute to the environment of making it not happen. It's all impossible, guys. It's all impossible. Never advocate in anyone else's interest. We shouldn't have ever like protested the Vietnam War. Shouldn't have protested the Iraq War. It was all pointless. There was no reason to. It was incredibly worthless to ever use your voice for any great commentary, great input, you fucking loser.
I mean, and by the way, there are again, people forget there are like 2 million plus Palestinians that do already live in Israel and are integrated, but
I had someone in my chat just now
like
say
second-class citizens and they don't have the same rights. Okay, cool. Well, they're black people, they're not slaves anymore, I know there's segregation and all that, but like, they are allowed to live a life technically in America, they are allowed to live a life, they don't get the same rights, they don't drink the same water fountains, but okay, dude. All right, bro.
said, Hutch, can you name one single of those countries that made any of their minorities stateless or stole land from one of those minorities? Just one. I wonder if you have thoughts on that, Ethan.
Oh, so you can't. I'm not saying, to be clear, I'm not saying personally that hasn't happened, because I'm sure it has. Apparently Hutch is, asking Ethan for a little bit of help here.
Well, I mean, the Arab countries were settled. Listen, I'm not a historian, but they were all settled like a long time ago. Whereas by the way, guys, I'm not.
So we can't necessarily speak. So we can't, So we can't. So we can't. And again, like, this is like old fucking history. You know what I mean? Like, this is like stuff that it's like, there's only so much you can do in terms of like holding like really old ancestors accountable for raping and pillaging to steal land, like all the way back to the caveman days and so on and so forth. Like there's only really so much you could do in terms of, but like at a certain point, like there's an established land that's already occupied with people, and it's like, well, they probably stole it too, so therefore, like, bro, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, have you ever heard that saying? It's like, just because, someone did something bad doesn't mean you should do it too. It's a very simple, like, like this person did this, doesn't give you justification to do the same thing. It's like, oh, like, let's put it this way. It's kind of the argument that they're making about Israel right now, really. And I would stand by the same, sentiment, basically, where, there's a rapist there, in prison. Is it okay to rape the rapist? I don't think it's moral. I don't think it's okay. Somebody could say, oh, well, it's justice being delivered or some insane, but it's basically cruelty. It's insanely cruel. It's insanely cruel to do to someone. It's like inhumane. It doesn't give like a justification, especially when you take it into a broader approach where it's not just an individual. It's a whole people at that point. There's like innocent people that, just like in Israel, like where your argument stems from, where there's plenty of people that are born there, right? They're born there and they're innocents and they don't have like an actual input. They haven't actually, done anything like to contribute to the oppression of the people that the land, the land that was taken from, like the people's land. You know what I mean? Like in it, there's like innocent children, innocent, like, yeah, like people just grew up there their entire life. Like it wouldn't justify just stealing their land. So it's just kind of like this idea of like, well, you know, like how do you think the Palestinian people got their land? And it's like, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't like justify the actions of like systematic colonization and apartheid and genocide. No, actually, it doesn't justify that. Actually,
Defending the settlement of Israel. If you want me to do that, I'm not.
I thought you were going to jump in and point out the fact that hundreds of thousands of Jewish people were expelled from countries like Iraq, you know, Egypt, Jordan. Yeah.
Again, doesn't justify the behavior that Jewish, you know, Israeli people are doing right now. It doesn't justify any of that.
I mean, about 8 to 900,000 were right following the war for the Israelis' war of independence, or I guess the
Also,
Nakba,
it's like,
depending
where
on.
were they supposed to go? Where were they supposed to go? There was plenty of other places. For one, the people who victimized them at that time, especially, should have given land to those who were oppressed by themselves as a means of reparations. You know what I mean? Like it's just so weird. It's like basically like it's like, oh, they were victims, so they needed land, so therefore, like,
On your perspective,
it doesn't make it okay.
right? And so, when I asked Hassan, where should the Jews of Israel go if they don't feel safe there in like one state, he literally told me, and people forget this, he literally told me they should go back to Iraq.
Yeah. Which was an especially insane country to point to, given the circumstances that surrounded like the expulsion of Jews in that country. It's just, that was such a crazy thing to say. Yeah.
Like, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody has any thought for that. He says, because guys, listen, we got to reckon, if you actually want to make some progress on this, we got to reckon with the real situation, right? And the real situation is, okay, there you got 9 million people here who own homes and businesses.
Hutch, vases are not food safe. He's drinking out of a vase.
And sky rises and government buildings and subways and buses and tunnels. And you want them to either leave or...
Hold on.
The expulsion of Jews in that country. It's just, that was such a crazy thing to say. Yeah.
Like, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody has any thought for that. He says, because guys, listen, we got to reckon, if you actually want to make some progress on this, we got to reckon with the real situation, right? And the real situation is, okay, there you got 9 million people here who own homes and businesses and sky rises and government buildings and subways and buses and tunnels. And you want them to either leave or risk, basically becoming minorities in Israel, which historically has not worked out well for Jewish people. And I know Hassan likes to point out to like the Ottoman Empire, which the Jews did do well for a time. That was also like over like 100.
They stole the land. I don't care. Collaborate. Work out your fucking differences. Figure it the fuck out. If you have to be babysitted to do so, do it. This doesn't justify fucking genocide, you fucking freak. Oh, how's that going to work? Make it work. I'm so sick of this fucking, oh, what if? I don't care anymore. I don't care. Cry about it. Cry about it. Move. Immigrate somewhere else. If you actually have a problem with it. If you can't live with Palestinians, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not hearing any I don't care. I have no sympathy anymore. Stop. Stop the genocide. Stop the apartheid. Stop the oppression. Give them back their land, or make reparations in terms of what you can realistically do, accommodate them. I don't give a shit. In fact, like that's the last thing I care about in terms of how do the Israelis feel? It's like saying, like, how do the white people feel about giving black people rights? Won't they feel unsafe? I don't care. I don't care, bro. I don't care anymore. I've ran out of care.
Plus years ago, right? So if you want to revive the Ottoman Empire and you know, give the somehow,
You gotta hold their hand through it, do it. Apparently you do have to hold their fucking hand through it. It's like, what if they become a minority? Oh, you mean like black people right now? You mean like tons of other people in America right now? Oh, you know, they become a minority. Wow. Especially, this is such a ridiculous argument too, because it's like, what if they become a minority, and it presumes the idea that Palestinians getting more rights over time, they will villainously, you know, purposefully overtake the land as a means of expelling Jews, like as a means of like systematic destruction, basically. And it's so gross, dude. It's so gross. It's so gross. You're like, I'm so scared of you know, that happening to us, what we're already doing to them. You're such a gross person. You disgusting fucking freak. I understand the argument that it sucks to be a minority. This is true for every minority group. We aren't giving military aid to them. Yeah.
I don't think Jews would be, you know, I don't know how many Jewish people are in modern day Turkey, as if he's suggesting that maybe Turkey taken a bunch of Jews. I'm not sure even what he means when he says Ottoman Empire.
Plenty of places out there. America has plenty of places as well. America's taken in plenty of Jews. There's plenty of other different places that I'm sure will accommodate Jews. I'm sure they'll be fine. Like, in terms of like places to live realistically. Like, what's not going to be fine for Jewish people is if you keep having Israel represent all Jewish people. You can't disassociate Zionism with Judaism, and then you foster resentment and anti-Semitism in people because you presented yourself as, well, we kind of have to do genocide because, you know, we're scared. We're scared of brown man. So we have to systematically destroy all of them. And then you basically, to the eyes of many Nazis, to the eyes of many anti-Semites, you justify their resentment in their heads. They think of you, they will think of you as monstrous because the actions are monstrous in and of itself. If you try to represent, Hassan said this really well, if you do try to represent, if, like you say, most Jewish people, really love Jewish ISIS, the Jewish terrorist state, a supremacist ethno state, then that's not a good look, bud. That's not a good look. It's not. It fosters resentment. People will fucking hate you over time. And that's not safe for Jewish people. That's not safe for any group of people. If you unironically keep feeding into the idea that this is the only way you can be safe, is that you have to dehumanize, colonize, and genocide others. It's fucking disgusting, man. I cannot stand it. We should give the Jews Montana. Awesome, dude.
Doesn't exist. It hasn't for a long time.
Real quick, how would you feel about? I think Lonerbox wants to say what's up to you. How would you feel about adding him to the call? Okay, so yeah. I think I would have to start a new DM thread, and then call you again.
Hey,
I couldn't figure out how to add Loner. You gotta get a burner Discord account on your phone.
Is this just my screen?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Does it look like this on the? Hopefully, it's not my screen, or it must be his.
Yeah,
2026.
I don't do this very often.
I don't think it is. Okay.
Yeah. But so
what
going back to kind of
did he put a filter?
his recent statement that's getting him into all this trouble It's so easy for him to defend himself to his audience and say, I'm trying to protect Jews, because people are always conflating these two issues. But the thing is, it's not a conflation. Like, by the way he defines it, 90% of American Jews are going to be Zionists, but the way he defines it. And again, that's not to say like that the Jewish people
part of the problem though is the conflation of this. If enough Jewish people like think like unironically that they should associate themselves and like come to the defense of a terrorist state on their behalf, doing things in their name, then yeah, it kind of does reflect poorly on you. And this is the thing is like, it's already wrong. It's wrong. And you can't treat all like Jews as a monolith and presume that all of them are on board with what Israel's doing. But if enough Jewish people are doing that, and enough people see that 80 or 90% or whatever statistic there is, enough of a percentage are associating with a terrorist state and making defensive sentiment about them and equating Zionism with Judaism and basically spewing out genocide denial or spouting out propaganda why genocide should happen in order to make the Jewish people feel safe or anything like that, then yeah, that's going to have a really large negative consequence. It's really not that hard to understand. It's really not. It's not.
I know all of them, including myself, despise the current government. And
I know all of them despise the current government. It's not the current government. It's the society and how it's operated for around 70 to 80 years. It was in 1948, I think it was established. So where are we at? 48 to 52, 78, almost 80 years, something around there.
What the settlers are doing.
Wait, hold on, 52, 72. Yeah, 78. I think 78. If I'm
Again, how the government protects the settlers and, all the wanton death that's happening in Gaza and around Israel. But that's just you're protesting a government. That's not undoing a state, which is.
Guess what? IDF is filled with tons of people. Most people in the society have participated in the IDF because that was part of the military. That was part of the obligations or whatever. And no one has a problem with the general idea. But people are more forgiving of the general idea that you were in a society that forced you, had mandated conscription, military conscription, as a part of your service for where you live at. And that you come to the conclusion that serving in the IDF and what you did was immoral and wrong. No one has a general issue with that. And no one also, here's the other thing, no one that really has an issue with the idea of Israel necessarily maintaining itself as a state in of itself. What we have an issue with is the way it maintains itself. The means it does to maintain itself. Like, it is unethical, it is immoral to survive as a state in the ways that it is. It is wrong to do so. That's the problem.
It is just not happening. And this was my point from the beginning. It's like, I don't know how you're advocating for Palestinians when the solution is just erase the state of Israel, because that's not happening. You're not actually doing advocacy, because that's just not going to ever happen. I don't want
not be erasing Israel. That's not even realistic in the first place. It's not something you would want to do pragmatically, ethically, morally. It's basically a massive reconstruction. It would be a massive reform. It would basically, the way it would be constructed is through the means of, okay, well, we're putting our fucking foot down. And we're demanding this change. We're doing regime change. We're doing a societal upheave. We're changing this. And, if you don't fucking like it, well, It is what it is. Because it's got to stop. It's got to stop. This does not mean that, oh, we're going to target civilians or anything like that. What it means is putting your foot down and reconstructing things. That's all it means. There's no, oh yeah, like, we're just going to like kill civilians or something, like to make room or anything. Like, that's kind of absurd.
Understand.
It I think it makes the public discourse about this issue just so much dumber because it's not a serious proposal, but he's convinced millions of people.
Well, the one state doesn't work and the two state doesn't work. You know, what's your proposal, you fucking dipshit? Just let things go on as they are? It's just like, we're just going to endlessly criticize your position and your advocacy, but we have no solutions ourselves because we don't care. We don't give a fuck about filthy Palestinians. We don't give a shit what happens to them. Fuck off. Fuck off, you loser.
People at this point that it is. And so there's, again, just, I reiterate.
What's your fucking solution, you bald-headed fuck? Oh, I know his solution. Just ignore the issue. Just let Israel continue doing what it's doing. Who fucking cares? That's his solution. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit what happens to innocent fucking children. I'm sorry, to be more specific, he doesn't care what happens to innocent Arab children. Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. For all he cares, he's going to stuff himself. He's going to continue smoking whatever fucking drugs that he has at his apartment. Hitting his fucking vape. Stuffing his face with Big Macs or anything else that he enjoys off of, you know, capitalism in America. Pretending he gives a shit about anyone else. Pretending he gives a shit about democracy. While he makes a slop content about, like, Hassan Bad for, like, the 45th time. And then justifies how he's going to vote for fucking Jeffrey Epstein, the child molester. Over, like, his deluded idea of, like, a potential, like, quote-unquote socialist dictator or whatever.
Iterate the point
Hassan Piker. Evil Hassan. Bad Hassan. Let me vote for Epstein instead. Fucking loser.
They think they're fighting a war that's
I hope this fucker has breathing problems. I hope this fucker can't breathe very well in the morning. I hope this motherfucker can't breathe through his nose in the morning. I hope it's filled with fucking snot. Disgusting fucking slime.
over for decades. And so how can we get to a conversation about real solutions?
What's the real solution? Yeah, present your real solution instead of fucking, I will endlessly critique your solutions. I will endlessly critique your grievances. I have the real answers. Where are your real answers, dipshit? Because all the real answers I've ever heard are like complete fucking garbage.
They're insisting that you have to adopt their view as far as like what should be done when it's just not possible. And so it's just, and if you don't,
they should adapt it. It's not possible, but it is possible. We've already given you explanations of how it's possible. It's just you don't care. You aren't willing to promote the idea. You don't sincerely want it to happen. You won't advocate for it to happen. It's possible. It's plenty possible. We can never get we can never get what we want. Guys, we have to live realistically, guys. We can only get establishment Dems, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries. We can only do the bare minimum, guys. Incrementalism, guys. That's the only way anything happens, guys. Trust me, guys. Trust me. Where did that get us? Where did promoting any of these fucking losers as our advocates, where did that get us? Oh, I know where it got us. It got us fucking MAGA. Got us nowhere. Net negative. Beyond net negative. We're cooked negative. We're done negative. Because we couldn't put our fucking foot down and ask for more.
Don't adopt their view. You're a ultra Zionist, and you want every Palestinian to be killed. Like they draw these lines in the sand and then like tar and feather you in the public square.
Yes, your actions speak louder than your fucking words, man. You can say, "Oh, like, I'm a pro-Palestinian advocate. I care very deeply. But if like all of your actions are basically demonizing and criticizing heavily and never actually highlighting the issues of what's happening in Gaza in the first place, never giving the amount of attention it actually deserves, never actually focusing in on the real issues, never actually being substantive with the issue, addressing it as the real horrible issue that it is. I just wonder, man. I just gotta wonder, if we were in this situation right now and we were being fucking slaughtered by like someone colonizing us, holy shit, how would it feel? How would it feel for Hutch? How would it feel for Hutch that he's like starving, that he's like, like like he and whatever loved ones are, they're like, the land is fucking taken from them. They're like, they have very little to work with, very little income. They're like in like a shitty apartment or whatever, because they're in like an apartheid like little building where it's like they get like very restricted rights. They go through access vantage points where security guards are going to like endlessly harass them or some shit like that. And I wonder if he sees on the news for like the propaganda spewed about how like all of the people who fight for his rights to have his land back, to have his home that was stolen from him back, demonized and villainized as just fucking immoral, evil terrorist or whatever. Like, holy shit, I fucking hate this guy so fucking much. Oh my god, I have no fucking words, man.
If you try,
I do. I just, I don't like to sum up my words. And the way that I would want to would be very much TOS. I fucking despise this fuck and Ethan so deeply. You don't have no idea.
If you try to handle this conversation with any nuance isn't even the right word, but just like a touch of
I'm very nuanced. I got my nuance glasses on, guys. I'm very nuanced. You don't understand. There's a lot to the history of Israel-Palestine, guys. You don't understand, like, the Israelis, they kind of had to do it. They're like like self-protective, like innocent victims. They've been victimized all their life, so they had to victimize others. You don't understand, bro. You don't understand. You don't get it. You don't get it, bro. And it's also like nothing can be done. And there's no actual realistic, realistic possible chance of actually changing anything. Why even bother? Why even try? Why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care? You just must hate Jews. Fucking
realism, right?
Hate you. Got it.
Then you become an enemy of the movement. And that's, again, just kind of what happened to me.
You made yourself the enemy. You decided to go on these fucking tirades. You decided to attack these people endlessly. You decided to attack and like smear and capitulate to a sex pest that you yourself called a sex pest. A weirdo sexual predator. You decided to capitulate to that person who said you molested your own fucking children, you fucking loser. You bowed the fucking knee to that guy. The guy you're talking to right now bows his knee to the guy who called you someone who molests his own children. He called you a pedophile. Are you going to do anything about that? No. The bigger grievance is IDubs, guys. The bigger grievance is IDubs. Pathetic. Fucking shameful.
And then, but so again, Hassan, what he's saying to his audience is, I don't hate Jewish people. Actually, I love Jewish people, and that's why I think we should never conflate Jewish people with Zionism.
It's so funny because you would never accept this. Like the argument that he's like portraying against Hassan, it's like, it's so dishonest. Like he would never accept this when people are talking about how he hates Palestinians or anything like that. Except there was like, it was so much more substance to the reasoning of why we think he's like an Islamophobic piece of shit. But he would never accept the same kind of argumentation where he's just like, he has like very little to work off of to try to make the case that Hassan is anti-Semitic, like sincerely hates Jews, sincerely wants them all systematically expelled or destroyed or killed or anything like that. It's so gross. What a gross fuck.
And his audience believes him. And then because he spends the whole time convincing them that there's so many good anti-Zionist Jews out there, and he brings them on his broadcasts all the time, and he talks about them all the time. Jews that reach his super high baseline of being anti-Zionist, which is just like, you have to be like the most kind of, you basically have to be pro-Hamas. I mean, it's really like that, right? You have to be willing to like carry water for Hamas. And so he convinced.
Oh my God. You know what's funny too is basically to him being pro Hamas is basically having like a more nuanced take on October 7th, a more factual basic take of the actual undercurrent reasoning, the underlying problems with why something like October 7th happened in the first place, why Hamas exists in the first place. No understanding at all. It's just, oh, you just like terrorism, guys.
Convinced his audience that this is like 50% or more of Jews. But the truth is 90% of Jews have some kind of fondness for Israel. And so what he's doing is fomenting, I believe, violence and hate towards Jewish people, because he's basically giving people the green light. He's creating a system of consent for anti-Semitism.
Becoming part of Perry's community, Emery. Dude, I don't care about your fucking beefs with Perry. I don't give a shit. I don't have like a vested interest in either community. I come in and out of communities all the time. I popped into Perry's because I watched one stream about some crazy person who's calling Dickers essentially like not a rapist verbatim, but like an abuser of power. I've never hated Perry. I've never hated you. Don't care. I don't care. I am a neutral party in all of that stuff. I don't have a vested, interest in, shitting on any content creators in that sphere, because I don't have any like real hatred for any of you guys. It's just not, it's not in my interest. Did you know Perry shared revenge porn information of Pixie? I thought that was a hard line. I did not know that. He shared revenge porn information of Pixie. What does that mean exactly, though? Also, are you saying he spread around her revenge porn? Because I can leave his server right now if that's the case. I have no issue with that. In that case, why wouldn't you chit-chat with Destiny? Dude, I chit-chatted with Dan Saltman. I already specified why I wouldn't chit-chat seriously with Destiny. Okay, now you know. All right, well, you haven't specified exactly what sharing revenge porn information on Pixie means exactly. Are you saying spreading around information about the incident or the actual revenge porn in of itself? Because if he's spreading around the revenge porn in of itself, then obviously I would leave the server and I would not be a participant in the community personally. I don't want to be associated with that. You have to be a little bit more specific. Here's another thing. I do want to ask you this. How long were you hanging around Perry? Did you know this and you were still hanging around Perry? He watched all her revenge porn videos, then typed in details how she was moaning and how she was like in the videos with other chatters. Okay, a lot of people have done that in that community. You know that, right? Doesn't make it moral. And that's the other thing. I've never said Perry is a good guy or a moral figure. So, like, my concern would be spreading it around. Like, that's already really bad. Which I'll leave the server just for that alone. But like when you say spreading revenge porn, I'm thinking, oh, he's like spreading it, like he's sending it to other people. No, I had no idea. I just found out after. Okay. Well, I've left his server, so. Just because some people did doesn't mean it's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, and this is part of the reason, and why I don't associate closely, at least, with a lot of people in those communities is because there's been a weird normalization of that behavior. And I don't think it's okay. And the way people talk about these issues, I had to go out of my way because this person that is claiming what Dickers did, like, I'm not sure if you guys and Perry have like an incentive to basically for content or whatever to portray her as a crazy person. I can no longer trust on my own accord the character of most of these people. I don't know if it's like reactionary subconscious bias of not believing in victims or anything like that. So when I look at content creators' conversations with somebody who's telling their story, I can't really trust it off rip. I don't know the incentives of any of these people. So me, myself, I was like, let me see if I can get the messages and read them for myself. Not to create content, but to see if this person is actually lying about any of this, if I actually believe their side of the story. And the way I saw some more about this person's story is Perry's content when talking to this person. And obviously, I'm just not going to take Perry or any other person's word on their interpretation of all the messages, especially since there's like a billion of them, apparently. But it did seem like he handled that in that way, in a nuance, that conversation in a nuanced way, where he wasn't automatically throwing her under the bus or calling her like a manipulative cunt or anything like that, while still saying, I think like you might just be a little deluded or crazy or something, or you might be dishonest. So I don't know, man. Like, as far as I'm concerned, by like the perspective of like talking about revenge porn being spread around, talking about it in detail, like most of these people in Spicy or in any other like crazy commentary community chat, Queeman and all those other people, they've done stuff similar to Perry, right? You know that, right? They've done that stuff. So like it's kind of like I lose. It doesn't matter who I'm associating with, apparently, in like this general area. This is why there's kind of a disconnect as much as possible. Perry has no morals whatsoever. I don't know if I'd put it like that, but yeah, for the most part, yeah. Here's the other thing. Do I have to cut off contact with any other person tangentially connected through the if I contact Ogre Boy, who's contacted with JStock, who's contacted with Perry or Queeman or any other person who's done something like really bad, can I not associate with Ogre Boy? Like, you see how this is limiting, right? Like, it's very annoying. I can't believe this cat is on my lap. He almost never gets on my lap. Okay, I guess Kathy left the chat or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, to be clear, I just don't have a vested interest in being like in everyone's like dramas and stuff like that. I come in, I come out of commentary, community, servers or whatever. That's the other thing. I don't even know where to promote my shit now, because if I abided by strict regulations, I'm just gonna have to go to random servers or some shit like that. Just promote.
Like systemic anti-Semitism, where it's just, if you like Israel, you are a fucking, baby killer. You're enemy of your enemy. And I mean, he said of my own wife that she was a valid military target because I forget the exact words. He said, even if your favorite podcaster's wife, who's just a secretary, or I don't remember, but he really is creating a whole consent structure to do violence on Zionist people. And then a tricky way of convincing his audience that not all Jewish people are Zionists, even though by his definition, 90% are. So I don't know that his audience will ever understand really what's going on. And I've tried to have these conversations.
Part of the thing that Hassan does with his rhetoric is basically being willing to listen to people who change over time, or let people grow, and give patience to people who, like a lot of other far left people, would not actually give patience to, in terms of Zionist perspectives or Nazi perspectives or anything. Like, he's willing to try to reach out, is basically what I'm saying. And it's just like super dismissive of this idea of like, this guy hasn't been like endlessly patient with you.
With him, and I mean, the result of it is apparent. And I know exactly how this is going to play out. People are going to clip it on Twitter. I don't care at this point because it's already happened to me 1,000 times, but they're going to clip me on Twitter saying like Ethan even now supports the state of Israel or whatever, and then, the whole cycle of Ethan being.
By all effect, you do. I mean, like, what do you want me to say?
In a Zionist renews, right?
Well, it's all free when he says, "Oh, I'm saying this to help protect Jewish people." I think if you're familiar with like what his ultimate goal is, and you can read between the lines of the stuff that he says, I think it's obvious it's not about that at all. Like when he says you got to separate Zionism from Judaism, I don't think the goal is combating anti-Semitism. I think the goal is poisoning the concept of Zionism. Like, that's the ultimate goal. Like, you want to separate.
Zionism isn't all that bad. He's just poisoning the well of what Zionism is. You don't understand. He's just poisoning what Zionism is.
Yourselves, because like Zionism is this ethno-supremacist Nazi ideology, and if you don't do that, then
because it is. Holy shit! Oh my god, they're so fucking stupid. I can't. The brain rot is like next level. I've got to lose it. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. Shoe Head made a video too. Oh my god. I don't want to do any more Hassan Slop. Is it Hassan Slop? Oh my god, because it's already annoying as is. Everyone's like hyper obsessed with him. Oh my god, it is, isn't it? Oh, this was 5 days ago. It can't be that one, is it? Was it really 5 days? Okay. We'll have to save this for another day. I'm so tired of Hassan Slop, man. I feel like it's so redundant at a certain point. Oh my god, I feel redundant. Oh my god, the topic. I hate you. I hate you all. I hate you all. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I need something else. What was I on? How long has it been? How long have we been streaming for? Basically 3 hours so far. Add in the first, well, almost 3 hours. Back to Kinoflex. Kinoflex Slop. We need a new topic altogether. Do we want to go Kinoflex? Yes.
新年の人心は燃え代価を払い真理を言うビルジュのため息死も恐れず
I think we are 14 minutes on this. I think we are 14 minutes. 14 minutes into this one.
Of who's
take a shot.
Okay, I'm not. I don't even know if I want to do this because I'm just like so not in the mood. I need something brand. I need a brand new topic, not a brand new day, brand new topic. Everything feels so redundant. Everything feels so annoying and redundant at this point. Let's actually look into this political article. CIA chief used Moscow visit to warn Russia against attacks on NATO allies, helping Iran. He urged Russia to hold back from striking Baltic nations to reduce its support to Iran during his brief trip to the Russian capital. Okay. So he's helping Iran. That's awesome. Oh my God. He warned Russian officials in Moscow this week not to escalate conflict with America's NATO allies, in particular Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, in response to Moscow's stalemated invasion of Ukraine. According to two people familiar with the matter, the U.S. spy chief also used the rare, unannounced trip to the Russian capital on Tuesday to pressure Russia to reduce military and economic support for Iran, according to one of those two people and a UK official with knowledge of the trip. All three people are granted anonymity due to the sensitivity of the matter. News of Ratcliffe's trip to Russia with the administration did not officially acknowledge until this morning, has sparked rampant speculation in Washington and Europe because it marked the first such known trip to the Russian capital by CIA director under President Donald Trump. In late 2021, then-President Joe Biden's spy chief, Bill Burns, warned Russian President Vladimir Putin against invading Ukraine. Russian forces stormed across the border 3 months later. Ratcliffe's visit comes as Russia and Ukraine have exchanged an intensifying series of drone and missile strikes miles beyond the front lines of the fighting. Russia has also issued a series of threats in recent weeks against NATO countries that support Ukraine, sparking fear that Moscow could pursue newly aggressive hybrid warfare measures or limited military action against NATO allies, including the UK. His meeting was primarily to warn Russia against any escalatory action against the Baltic states, said the first person familiar with the matter. The Wall Street Journal reported earlier Wednesday that Ratcliffe warned against attacking NATO countries during his visit without further details. A spokesperson for the White House referred Politico to comments Trump made earlier Wednesday. In a radio interview this morning, Trump denied speculation that Ratcliffe made the trip to persuade Putin not to test NATO's resolve or attack the UK, which this week vowed to double down on its support for Ukraine. Trump called the visit semi-routine, but he acknowledged it was about bringing the war to a close. I hate to disappoint people. We would like to see the war with Ukraine end, he said. The CIA did not respond to requests for comments. How much we can read all this. Under the NATO treaty, an armed attack on one member is considered an attack on all members. But Russia has for years used a variety of war techniques, including sabotage operations and cyber attacks to undermine U.S. allies in Europe without provoking a broader retaliations. The C-17 military plane that flew Ratcliffe into Moscow took off from Latvia, according to publicly available flight tracking data. Spokespeople for the embassies of Estonia and Lithuania declined to comment. Spokespeople for the Latvian embassy didn't respond to requests for comment. On Monday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent threatened to significantly expand sanctions on countries that refuse to cut economic ties with Iran. Ratcliffe also raised the issue with Russian officials, according to the first person and the British official. Ratcliffe conveyed a desire for Moscow to stop sharing weapons and defense technology with Iran and advised Moscow against overreacting if it is affected by the sanctions. The British official said, Russia has reportedly shipped material to Iran to bolster its drone arsenal and may be helping Tehran pinpoint strikes against U.S. facilities in the Middle East. Spokesperson for the Treasury Department did not respond to a request for comment Wednesday. Since his first term, Trump has repeatedly clashed with the U.S. intelligence community on matters pertaining to Russia, at times appearing to echo Kremlin talking points about NATO or offer more optimistic assessments on Putin than his own spy agencies' support. But Trump has soured somewhat on Putin as he has struggled to bring the war to a close, and Ratcliffe is generally viewed as a hawk on Russia. The visit to Moscow in the latest instance, in which Trump has turned to his CIA director to help navigate tense diplomatic negotiations with a major U.S. adversary. Ratcliffe also traveled secretly to Cuba this May to warn the country's communist regime to make fundamental reforms or risk a U.S. Pressure campaign. While lawmakers are largely in the dark about the trip, Senator James Lankford said Tuesday that he welcomed the overture. Things don't get better by not talking, Lankford told Politico shortly after a trip to Ukraine. Right now, Russia doesn't seem to be focused on trying to solve anything, but we got to be able to find out what is the end game for them. Okay. Is there anything else I'm missing on this? Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to accidentally... I don't know what this is going to lead me to. I gotta be careful. I don't know what this fucking link is. CPCA. It should be fine. Okay. Just being careful. All right. Show it on the screen. Click. There we go. What the CIA director's mysterious trip to Moscow could mean. Despite Trump's claims, the visit was anything but routine. It might be a sign that Putin is getting more dangerous. Ratcliffe's brief trip to Moscow yesterday was unannounced but hard to miss. He flew in a C-17A, a large, heavy transport plane that open-source analysts quickly identified and tracked. Within hours, he was already on his way home. The purpose of his visit remains unknown. In an interview with Glenn Beck this morning, Trump described it as sort of semi-routine, but such trips are rare. The last time a director of the CIA went to Russia was in November 2021. When William J. Burns told Moscow that the United States knew of Vladimir Putin's plans to invade Ukraine. A likelier explanation for his latest trip is that Russia is getting more dangerous and that the Trump administration wanted to warn it against escalating. Ratcliffe's visit comes out as one of the most difficult periods in the war for the Kremlin, thanks to its drone systems. Ukraine has been able to strike military targets and oil infrastructure deep inside Russia, while also hindering Moscow's advance on the battlefield, turning the front into a kill box in which anything that moves is struck within minutes. Despite making little progress, Russia has continued taking heavy losses. In May, the Russian death toll reached nearly 500,000, according to Anne Kest Butler, the head of GCHQ, the UK intelligence agency. Russia's weakness can be making it more reckless, possibly even launching a small land incursion. If they don't respond to an act of aggression, it could expose NATO's mutual protection clause as hollow. Putin has some reason. It's growing belligerence has emerged. So it's an indefinite fight with Ukraine still. Russia has increased its ballistic missiles attack on Ukrainian infrastructure, taking advantage of Kyiv's shortages. Trump's administration has options to deter Putin if he wants to use them. For instance, Washington could warn Moscow that if it continues its deniable attacks in Europe, the United States could support Ukrainian access to Starlink inside Russia, which would improve the effectiveness of Kyiv's long-range strike campaign. On his way to Moscow, Ratcliffe stopped in Latvia. Today, the Latvian Prime Minister called the trip a very good signal, which seemed to imply that Ratcliffe was there seeking to bolster European security. If the CIA director carried a warning with him, it could have been an unambiguous one. Any attack on NATO territory would bring in the United States. Trump might not want to make that no, he wouldn't want to make that type of commitment. You're not going to want to get in a fight with literally anyone. I said this, you're not going to want to, if like hypothetically like China was to invade like Taiwan right now, like it would not go well for the US. Like he'd probably try anyway, but it would no, it's not smart. You're not in the position to do it. Trump might not want to make any type of commitment, but it may be necessary to ensure that Putin never concludes. Yeah, like it ain't. I'm sorry, like it's just cooked. You're in a rough spot here. It's not gonna happen. It's just not. Okay, I need to figure out how to promote my streams here because okay, we need to have a frank discussion. Speaking of Kathy and the Perry stuff, okay? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to promote ourselves? Do we join servers? Is there a Hassan server that we join? Do we just go towards lefty servers or whatever? Do we like pick carefully what servers we go into in terms of all this? I think that's gonna have to be the case. Because we need to promote. I think this is the biggest struggle for me right now in terms of how we promote, what we promote. I'm gonna have to make a video essay. I'm gonna have to get cooking on a video essay. I gotta get started. I have the idea. I have to start writing the script, get things together, and we're just gonna have to do a fresh. We're gonna do a fresh restart, clean up some of the all the videos or whatever, just like private and clean up and have a fresh restart here for the channel. They get promoting. We need solutions here. So we start working on that video essay. We do daily streams, okay? Promotion. I'm trying to think. Because I want to start actually cooking. Yeah, make our thumbnails too. Gotta get better tools for thumbnail creation. Start working on that. Game plan this shit, okay? Let's see. Okay, this is gonna be the. I think we can join President Sunday's server. And every once in a while promote in there. That's fine with me. We'll do that. That's one. Oh wait, invalid link. I need a more up-to-date one. I don't know if that's like behind a paywall though at this point. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
He stood unshaken, a voice in the storm, a man of conviction, a heart reborn.
We are Charlie Kirk.
The cost was high. He lived for Jesus, unafraid to die.
It might end stream now actually, because I wanna actually gather my thoughts, concoct a plan, game plan. Get out there more.
We are Charlie Kirk, his courage our own, together unbroken, we'll make heaven known. A husband, a father, his family held near.
Let's see.
A home built on
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna concoct a game plan. And I'm not in the mood to go over the Kino Flex. Yeah, we'll do the Kino Flex later. We'll save it all day. We need a game plan this shit. I need promotion. That's the obstacle right now. That's the thing that we need to figure out here. Promotion, get thumbnails, start crafting up that video essay, craft up like segmented streams, edit it out. Okay.
The battle is raging, the darkness will fall. We rise with his spirit. We answer the call. The truth is eternal. The cross is
Okay, yeah. All right.
with God as our captain.
Let's end on this. All right, guys. Sorry to cut it short, but yeah, we're gonna do some behind the scenes cooking, okay? Start up that video essay, like a little bit of scripting, figure out what I want to go, what direction I want to go, promotion, all that good stuff. Let's shout out a couple voices here in the chat. We got here Kathy, Mr. Meta, aka Zoo Phillips. I think Webmaster 4531 was here earlier. I think that was all today. Is my name still Black Plague J on the oh it is. On the Discord? Oh it is. Okay, yeah. Alright. Behind the scenes cooking now. Okay, later.
He stood unshaken, a voice in the storm, a man of conviction, a heart reborn. He spoke the truth when the cost was high. He lived for Jesus, unafraid to die. We are Charlie. We'll fight for the gospel, we'll honor his name. We are Charlie. father, his family held near, a home built on scripture, on faith without fear. The world tried to silence, but his voice remains. Innocent echoes in Christ it sustains. We carry the flame, we'll fight for the gospel, we'll honor his name. We are Charlie God, his courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known. The battle is raging, the darkness will fall. We'll rise with its spirit. We answer the call. The truth is eternal.